Hi, my name is Tamkeen. I'm here with my group to present our presentation for the module Creativity and Innovation. My group members are Aziz Ahmed and Mansoor Sher. The aim of this presentation is to find a real-world problem or just a problem and give our creative solution for it. We have chosen the problem of recidivism rate in the US, but before we go forward, what recidivism actually means? Recidivism is the act of committing crime and being re-arrested within a period of 6 months and above after successful completion of his prison term. To increase your more knowledge on recidivism, we would like to take a look on this video.
Recidivism, a tendency to relapse into a previous condition or mode of behavior, especially relapse into criminal behavior. Of the 2.7 million people who are incarcerated in our prison systems across America, 650,000 will be released this year, and 63% will return within 3 years. Join the Optimum Institute of Economic Empowerment in the fight against recidivism.
Okay, so this was the meaning of recidivism. So because we are talking about, because our main problem, our topic of the presentation is the recidivism rate in the US, I would like to call my friend Mansoor Sher to talk about the statement or the problem that we are working on.
Hi, this is Mansoor Sher. So, recidivism has become a major issue in the US. Over 2 million people are behind the bars, and the case is being severe day by day. Let us look into this video by Wallach brothers about the situation of recidivism in the US.
It is messed up. Now, crime is also messed up. Bad things happen to good people, and that's terrible, and something should be done about it. But we send people to prison to be punished, and to prevent them from doing bad things again, and to deter others from breaking the law. Punishment, corrections, and deterrence. Now, we have this habit of thinking of prisoners as something very external to society. After all, there are literal walls between them and society, walls capped with razor wire watched over by people with guns. But millions of prisoners are released each year. Today's prisoners are tomorrow's neighbors, so corrections should probably be the most important piece of the incarceration pie. Unfortunately, it is not. We are, however, really good at punishment. America has about 4% of the world's people and about 25% of the world's incarcerated people. We have the highest incarceration rate in the world. Over the last 30 years, that number has skyrocketed, increasing over 400%. 41% of American juveniles and young adults have been arrested by the time they turn 23. Children as young as 13 years old have been sentenced to die in prison. And our prisons violate international standards. Solitary confinement increases instability and violence in inmates and is considered by international law to be torture. But in America, it's not regulated by anyone except the prison officials. No judge, no jury. Arguably the most devastating form of punishment we enact in this country, and yet there is no appeals process. And you think it's hard to get a job in America? Well, we make it intentionally more difficult to get a job once you have a conviction on your record, not to mention just to live your life. Convicts are ineligible for welfare, student loans, public housing, food stamps, and are often socially disconnected from community and family support structures. So in addition to having high recidivism rates, they have very high rates of homelessness and suicide. Somewhere along the way, we started to think that being tough on crime meant being tough on criminals, but that's not the same thing. Punishment is only one piece of a much larger crime reduction pie, and it's an expensive one, with some institutions paying more than $100,000 per year per prisoner. Long prison sentences have helped to decrease crime, but no more than 25% of the decrease we've seen can be attributed to incarceration, and it costs far beyond just dollars. The cost is to people, to our country, to communities, to families, and to ourselves. The policy seems to be if you've committed a felony, we just give up on you. These wars on crime, wars on drugs, they are wars on people. The smart political move is to appear tough on crime because crime is scary, so we increased minimum sentences, we arrested more people, we sent more of them to prison. That's how we looked tough on crime, but the results are in. It's bad policy. It's cruel, it's short-sighted, and to continue this policy of mass incarceration would be foolish. We're living inside of a massive $75 billion per year failed experiment. 2010 was the first year in nearly 40 years that the number of incarcerated individuals in America did not increase. Policymakers are beginning to realize the magnitude of this failure, but there is a long way.
So, recidivism is not just about the official record image, but it's about people, lives, and society. The US, being one of the largest and most influential country facing such issues, is not a small deal. The percentage of the new crimes committed by the individual released from the prison has been increasing. Incarceration has a negative effect on the economic mobility, with the fiscal consequences not only for the formerly incarcerated but their families and communities as well. Now, I would like to ask my friend Aziz to carry forward.
Hi, my name is Aziz Ahmad. So, since our main objective is to find the solution, we have done in fishbone analysis to find out the root cause of this problem. Here we have mentioned the possible reasons, or I must say the hurdles between the ex-offender to start his life as a responsible citizen and avoid criminal activities. Number of being unemployment because of unemployment and idleness, frustration level of ex-offender increase he is unable to fulfill his basic needs in the right way. Therefore, he takes the easier way, committing crime. Next, treatment in the jail. The time a prison span in the prison make a huge impact on his behavior. Personality. U.S. jail policies with regards to treating the prisons are not quite pleasant. They are treated inhumanly, and the rules are quite strict, which of course does not help them to improve their character in the way, rather making it worse. Moreover, any amount of the time spent in the prison sitting idle, quarreling with other inmates, disturb a normal person and make them a good for nothing. Some jails also provide a vocational training as well, but they are also not up to the mark or any beneficial for the prison. Non-acceptance by the society as being one of the major hurdle of correction of prisoner. Obviously, after completing their time in prison and they have to join the society. The problem is our society is shaped in a way that they are not willing to forgive easily. Let it be our own family or the office where used to work before. Once you got a little criminal record in your history, your life and the career is over. Even if you are qualified enough, a criminal record is considered as a sin. Harsh policies are one of the main reasons of incarceration as well. 4.5 million people in the US on probation and parole, and they still doesn't feel free because they give the time and limit is a short, which means they are rearrested in few weeks. And the story repeated again and again in the socio-economic factors. All the reasons are arrested. Since we have having one of the highest highest rate of recidivism, we thought it would be interesting to know what it takes to make our recidivism rate fall down. Hence, we have a little comparison analysis of the U.S. prisons policies to the Norwegian prison policy. Take a look on this video.
Every inmates in Norwegian prison are going back to the society. Everyone. You want people who are angry, or you want people who are rehabilitated.
Literally locked up behind high concrete walls.
The conditions for the prisoners are borderline inhumane.
You don't realize you're human. They don't care if you're to them you're not human being. But Until the day the judge says that you didn't commit this crime, you're an animal.
Restorative justice programs. Because our brains are capable of change, we need to take responsibility for our actions, and they need to take responsibility for their rehabilitation.
Has lots of possibilities to go to school and everything. I feel that I can become a better person.
So that makes Norway's incarceration rate 75% per 100,000 people compared to 77 people for every 100,000 people in the US. In Norway, fewer than 4,000 of the country's 5 million people are behind bars as of August 2014. On top of that, when criminals in Norway leave a prison, they stay out. It has one of the lowest recidivism rate in the world at 20%. At 20%, the US has one of the highest rate. 76.6% of a prisoners are rearrested within 5 years. So based on that information, it assumes that Norway criminal justice system isn't doing something right. Few citizens they go to the prison, and those who do usually go only once. So how does Norway accomplish this feat? The answer is Norway relies on a concept called restorative justice, which aims to repair the harm caused by crime rather than punish people. This system focuses on the rehabilitation of the prisoners.
Alright, so because we did our fishbone analysis before, we have chosen the four main reasons that are contributing to recidivism in the US, and we have analyzed a bit more on these 4 points. Number one is unemployment. Being unemployed for longer period of time substantially reduces the risk of all recidivism outcomes in all models. But employment status did not mediate any of the neighborhood effects on recidivism. Employment, however, is important for many reasons beyond the basic need for income. Employment also provides a stabilizing routine, occupies time that might otherwise be used for illegal activity, and keep individuals responsive to employers' behaviors demand, and provide a non-stigmatized social role. Thus, employment rehabilitative programs play a crucial role in transforming prisoners into legit citizens. Number two will be basic skills. An individual having all the basic skills, services like housing, education, healthcare, social welfare, transport, electricity, and energy, water have a much lower rate of committing a criminal crime as compared to that not having same of these facilities. The rate of recidivism can be lowered if the ex-offender is provided with the basic services which help to create a livelihood to themselves. People should be made aware of benefits of social welfare programs and should be made easy for the ex-offenders to take help of welfare programs to normalize their living. Number three, level of education. It was noted that education influences the changes of inmates. If their level of education was higher, this improved their self-esteem and increased their opportunity to getting both in and out of prison. The employment helps ex-prisoners to be productive, take care of their families, develop valuable life skills, and strengthen their self-esteem and social connectedness. Employment and education, learned skills, play a crucial role in ensuring ex-prisoners don't recidivate. That can help every prisoner to do something for themselves. Harsh policies. Harsh policies is creating barriers for almost all the ways for an ex-offender to commit out of his bad history. As policymakers, we can be more lenient on this part. We can give more probation time, and instead of rearresting them, we can seize their important documents. Thus, they can have freedom of rearranging their fines or whatever the jury has imposed on them. For food stamps and public housing, requirements of clear felon history should not be an option. At least the minor crimes should not affect a person's character history. Food stamps and public housing should be available for all those who are in need, regardless of their character. Only serious crimes should be a hurdle for not getting jobs. So if a person have a minor crime record like an accident or non-payment of fine, they should not be a big problem. Whereas the policymakers should take initiative in offering jobs to such people set a certain criteria for ex-offenders who are guilty and want to change or want to start their new life. Support centers should be established to help them in their tough journey. So, that being said, we are coming to our main solution, which is because our main problem from the Fishman analysis is harsh policies. US has a bad policy of managing their criminals, because of which they are coming again and again and recidivate. So our main solution will be obviously fixing the policy. So, providing a comfortable environment, treating them with the most humane manner, and looking forward to their rehabilitation will really help them to improve and really help the government to solve the problem of recidivism. We can take a huge example from Novarian policy. We should strive to provide a healthy and comfortable environment to the prisoners so that they can actually become a beneficial citizen for the society once they come out of jail. Providing them healthy, neat, and comfortable environment can actually affect their minds in a positive way, and with a new life, they can be motivated towards it. Failures and non-acceptance from the society can put them into severe non-acceptance, can put them into frustration, which is actually one of the main reasons behind recidivism. Therefore, they can eliminate just by little support and accepting behavior from the society. Society is not easy to amend, so you must be thinking, how can we make the society acceptable? Well, the simplest answer and the straightforward answer is government involvement. If the government policies are designed in a way that it becomes necessary for majority of the offices and departments to accept to employ the qualified ex-prisoners, then the society will have no other option than accepting the fact that they have to abide by this policy. Certain quotas can be set for ex-prisoners, as they are also a part of our society, and as welfare states, the US has to look after them as well. But then, what about the serious criminals? Well, the first thought that comes into your mind is about your safety around the criminals. For criminals involved in serious offenses can have a separate plan. Policies must be categorized among the prisoners, because there are majority of the people behind the bars nearly innocent. Punishment can be set according to their level, which will be fair and acceptable for all, starting from the most lenient practices to moderate, or if maintained, our attitude with the prisoners as humane as possible. Our policies should focus on correcting and rehabilitation of the prisoner's character and put our full effort to leave no space or reason for them to return back to the prison. No matter what we say, today's prisoners are tomorrow's neighbors, and nobody deserves to be treated inhumanely. So as policymakers, we should really focus on correcting and rehabilitating our prisoners rather than punishing them. Thank you very much. This is our presentation. From group members include Tamkeen Salim, Aziz Ahmed, and Mansoor Sher for the module Creativity and Innovation.